Omesiete, and I'm a pediatric nutritionist. I've decided to film for you something a little different and a little exciting for your children. Now, I know there's a lot of recipe videos, there's a lot of videos of people doing amazing food recipes, coming up with combos that you can definitely try. But I think it's important that you understand what it is that you're feeding your children and what exactly is actually going into their food. So in this series, I'm going to be taking you on a journey of different kinds of things we tend to feed our children. And my job in this series is to help you better understand the ingredients, serving size, and for you to kind of understand what exactly you're feeding, like what is really in their food, right? We always want to know that question. They're always telling us to count calories, read labels. So in this series, I'm going to be teaching you that. Now, there are going to be several different kind of episodes, so definitely look out for them when they go up. And I hope that it's informative and you actually learn from it. So again, my name is Omesiete. I am a pediatric nutritionist, which simply means that I clinically practice by providing nutritional solutions and interventions for children, specifically between the ages of 0 and 18. So if you have a little one and you have some kind of nutritional concerns, I'm your girl. Without further ado, let's actually get into the first episode. In this first episode, we are going to be talking about basic condiments. Either a raw ingredient that you would typically put in your child's food or just an ingredient that you typically would use to cook. Now again, remember the essence of these videos is for me to either one, show you how or what exactly is in the food, two, the serving size that's actually prescribed by the companies that produce these things, and three, leave you to be the judge of the fact whether your child should be eating this or not. Now, I'm not here to put any blames. I'm not here to say this is wrong or this is right, but just to educate you a bit better so that you're more knowledgeable and you can make better informed decisions with your children's meals. So on this episode, we've got noodles, peanut butter, ketchup, and mayonnaise. Now, we're going to be talking about the different serving sizes. We're also going to be talking about what exactly is in these things, for example, the ingredients. And you will then decide whether you should be feeding your child these things or not. Okay, so the first thing on our list is noodles. Now, this is something that you typically would find at home, in most homes. It's easy to make, it's super fast. You can add a bunch of other ingredients to it. And I mean, it's something that we're kind of used to. However, like I said, in this series, and I'm going to get raw with you, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything because I really want you to get the full picture. So now with noodles is typically made out of wheat and some other ingredients, so we're going to figure out what those ingredients are. Okay, so for this particular brand, it's made out of wheat flour, vegetable oil, which is palm oil that contains an antioxidant called EP1. There's iodized salt. There's a humectant, which is called E452. There's acidity regulators, which is E500, E501, thickener, E412, and then color, which is E101. Now, we all know that with these guys, there's usually another little thing that comes in the pack, right? Now, in this particular pack, the seasoning powder is made from iodized salt, flavor enhancers, which are E621, E627, E623, sugar, chicken flavor, hydrolyzed vegetable protein, soy sauce powder, pepper powder, garlic powder, onion powder, celery powder, vitamins, minerals, yeast extract, caramel powder, ginger powder, and turmeric powder. Now, there's something I need to tell you before we actually continue. When you read your labels, one of the first things you want to understand is that the first set of ingredients are the highest quantity. I'll say that again. The first set of ingredients are usually the highest quantity. So whenever you see an ingredient come out first, just know that that's the highest quantity in that particular food. Now, apart from that, as it goes down, the ingredients decrease as well. So what that means is top, highest, last, lowest. Now, ideally, you want the good things that nourish the body in that particular food to be the highest, right? Exactly. So for this one, technically what's the first set of ingredients for this particular noodles is vegetable oil, wheat, and iodized salt. Now, unfortunately, iodized salt actually is really high levels of sodium in a particular food, and in this pack, I think the serving size is, let me see, I can't find the serving size, but typically, oh, there we go. So they have the serving size, which is about 70 grams. So the whole pack is about, so let's look at like the actual basic nutrients that are in the food. So we looked at the ingredients, let's look at the nutrients that are in the food. Okay, there's 12 grams of fat. And in that fat we have saturated fat, which is about 6 grams. Remember, this is a 70-gram pack. There is sodium, which is about 1,120 milligrams. There is total carbohydrates, which is about 44 grams. Sugars, which is about 0.3, and then dietary fibers is about 1.2, and then protein is about 7 grams. Now, that's kind of the breakdown of this particular food. So clearly, the highest constituent in this is carbohydrates. Okay, 47% of the daily requirement of sodium is in this one thing. That's excluding maybe other condiments you may decide to add. That's excluding every other thing that you could possibly want to add into this particular noodle. And that's not even counting everything else you would eat in a day. Now, this serving size is based on a 2,000 calorie diet, which is the typical diet for an adult for one particular serving, dependent on the kind of diet that you're on, or if you're, for example, a pregnant woman, you need more calories. If you're trying to lose weight, you need less. The point is that this is based on an adult diet. Remember, I'm focusing on children here. So if your child is going to eat one noodle, and in that one noodle pack, it contains 47% of their sodium intake for the day. Isn't that a lot? I think it's a lot. I don't know about you, but I think it's a lot. So again, this is left for you to decide how you want to feed your children these meals. I'm going to move on to the next thing that I have in front of me, which is peanut butter. Who doesn't love peanut butter? It's smooth, it's nutty, it's crunchy, it's very nutritious, and of course, it's something that helps you to gain weight, especially for children. It's one of those foods that is high in fat, high in calories, but healthy fats and healthy calories. Now, what healthy means for you is different than what it means for another person, especially for their children. Also, dependent on the kind that you pick. So in this particular series, as I've mentioned before, we're going to be looking at the ingredients in the serving size. Now, for this particular brand, the serving size is about, let's see, 2 tablespoons, which is about 32 grams, which means that in 1 tablespoon, which is what I have here, you have 16 grams. So technically, this is a big spoon. It's a heaped spoon also, but technically, this would have been about 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, so which is the serving size. So let's look at the ingredients in this. It has roasted peanuts, 90%, sugar, fully hydrogenated vegetable oil, and salt. Now, I forgot to mention that peanut butter is not something that everybody takes because some people are actually allergic to it. So ensure that your child is not allergic to peanut butter before you offer it to them. But if they're not, by all means, go ahead. Okay, so in this particular thing, Luckily, roasted peanuts is the most prevalent, and it's in the largest quantity. However, we have some other things in here. We've got sugar, we've got hydrogenated vegetable oil, and we've got salt. For me, I like my peanut butter to just be peanuts, right? Just peanuts. That's exactly what it's supposed to be. So all the other stuff, I'm not really sure I'm comfortable with, but like I said, I'll let you decide. For me, I like peanut butter to be just peanut. Wholesome, saltless, beautifully roasted peanuts. And you can make your own peanut butter at home if you're like me and want just that in your peanut butter. Now let's look at the nutritional facts that are on this particular brand. There is, so the total fat is about 16 grams. They've got sodium in here. This is about 125 milligrams. You've got carbohydrates about 6 grams. Protein is about 7 grams, and sugar is about 3 grams. So in 1 tablespoon, and the serving size is 2 tablespoons, you have about 3 grams of sugar in there. Now, wholesome peanut butter doesn't really contain a lot of sugar, probably less than about 1 gram. But remember, in this batch, they've added other ingredients to it. There's also the aspect of, again, the sodium. Sodium here is about 125 milligrams, significantly less than the noodles that we looked at before, but still gives you about 5% of your daily requirement. Now, if you buy plain roasted peanuts, right? Roasted peanuts that does not have anything in it, you might not have sodium added to it. However, if you buy salted roasted peanuts, then you're going to have salt or sodium added to it. So again, just be mindful of the quantities that you're giving your children, because you want to make sure that whatever you give your child is not excessive and causing more harm to their system. Sodium excessive intake is not anybody's friend. It puts your electrolytes out of balance. It causes you to actually pee more than you would require. And I know some of us are doing potty training for some of our beautiful kids. So it's really, really important that when you're buying products for your children, you're looking at the labels, kind of like what we're doing right now. Now we're going to move on to the next one, which is ketchup. Who doesn't have ketchup in their house? I feel like growing up, ketchup was always present because it was something that we enjoyed, we liked it, we used to just lick it up, you know, even without the food itself that we're actually eating. But I never actually knew what was inside ketchup. All I had in mind was that ketchup was tomato, right? So let's find out in this particular brand what they have in its constituents. So a serving size is about 17 grams. Now we've established that 1 tablespoon is 16 grams, right? So this one is approximately about 1 tablespoon. That's what they're asking you to give you. That's what they said give, because that's typically what they will tell you. They will tell you their serving size. Okay, now in that serving size we have we've got total fat. There's no fat. There's no there's no fat. There's no saturated fat. All that's in here is carbohydrates, 2 grams, and protein about 0.15 grams. And then so a particular tablespoon of ketchup doesn't really contain much in it, right? But for children, you want them to be eating things that are nutrient dense, things that contain a lot of nutrients, because that's how the child is going to grow and develop. So there's not really a lot going on in here. But let's look at the ingredients. We've got tomato paste, natural vinegar, salt, sugar, thickeners, spices, and condiments. Okay, so in this 1 tablespoon, you've got sugar, you've got salt, you've got tomato paste, you've got vinegar, you've got thickeners, and other spices and condiments. That's pretty much the makeup of tomato paste. Again, you want to be mindful of the ingredients that you're offering your child. I don't really know what a thickener is. I would have assumed that tomato paste is thick on its own. I may be wrong. Somebody please help me in the comment section. Let me know what you think. But yeah, I feel like based on the 3 things that we've read so far, tomato paste seems to be really on the milder side. There's not really a lot going on with it. So it's really just a feeler for your mouth. It's not really adding or removing anything to your child's nutritional profile. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is another thing that I feel like a lot of us sort of have in our homes. Not everyone, but I feel like we all grew up with it in our homes. And it's mayonnaise. Yes, we have mayonnaise. Did you know that mayonnaise is made out of raw eggs? It took me a while before I found that out. But yes, mayonnaise is actually made out of raw eggs. You don't actually have to cook the egg to get the mayonnaise that you want. And that's apart from eggs. There's some other amazing things that you can add to mayonnaise. You can have, there's oil. Yes, there's oil. So mayonnaise is actually made out of an emulsion. An emulsion essentially is when you sort of add oil to a protein really, really slowly, and then it forms a really, really thick paste. So that's kind of how mayonnaise is made out of. So you need a really, really good oil, and you need eggs. Sounds like a healthy fat explosion, right? That's pretty much what mayonnaise is supposed to be. However, sometimes that's not always the case. Sometimes you might have other things in there, not that they're bad, but sometimes people just want a different taste. So maybe they want a different flavor, maybe they want a different kick, maybe they want it spicy, who knows? But like I said, the typical ingredients which usually make up mayonnaise is that you want the protein in there, and then you want the fat. Oh, and then you need an acid. Typically, most people would use lemon or lime to kind of get that acidity going on to make the emulsion all come together. Now, in this particular brand, we've got soybean oil, eggs, water, vinegar, sugar, salt, onion flavoring, natural flavoring, oleoresin, paprika, and lemon oil. Okay, so we've got quite a few things going on in this particular mayonnaise. Now, this particular brand doesn't tell us what the nutritional facts are, so that's something that you kind of want to look out for when you're going shopping for your children. You want to make sure that you're reading the labels and you're also looking out for the nutritional facts. Remember what I said about mayonnaise and how it's made up? As you can see, the first two major ingredients is soybean oil and an egg. Now you can use any other kind of oil that you like to make mayonnaise, because you can make mayonnaise yourself. Yes, I'm an advocate of making things at home. I'm always talking about how parents should make more homemade meals for their children, because that way you are sure of exactly what is going into the food. So, in today's episode, I hope you really enjoyed it. Today we talked about noodles, we talked about peanut butter, we talked about ketchup, and mayonnaise. Now, like I mentioned, this particular brand doesn't tell us the nutritional facts in it, so we can't really talk about that, but we've already given a breakdown of what usually you would typically find in mayonnaise. So, to end this, I'd like to ask you a simple question. What choices are you going to start making in terms of what you buy for your children based on the information you just heard today? If you enjoyed this, please leave a comment to let me know how it was. If you have questions that you want to ask, you can definitely send in a message to me and I'll gladly answer those questions. Again, my name is Ifenwa Omesiate. I'm a pediatric nutritionist, and my job is to help you protect your children by helping you make informed decisions. See you in the next episode. Hi, Iffy here. Thank you for watching another episode of This versus That. If you don't want to miss a single episode, click on the subscribe button right now so you get a notification anytime a new video is uploaded. If you would like to collaborate on these videos or sponsor any of these videos, you can reach me via email at thekidnutritionist@gmail.com. I look forward to doing these videos and I hope you enjoy watching them as well.